Hi, I'm Jeff, and today we're going to watch Ranium Films' Experiment X. This is a fan film made by Matthew Silva of Ranium Films based on the movie Wolverine. Okay, so opening credits were way too long, especially for a platform like YouTube, where it's super easy for everyone to click off because they don't have the incentive that they paid to watch this movie. It's free. That means you have to find a way to get the viewer to stay within the first few minutes, and then they'll probably keep going as long as, you keep it interesting. The opening credits went on for 2 minutes and 15 seconds. This scene can be easily fixed by taking away all of this. That way, it goes from 2 minutes to 15 seconds to just simply this. Now, to top it all off, there's an opening exposition right after, which takes almost 3 minutes to complete. Now, I understand where he's going. I understand what he's going for, but there's an easier way to do this, and you can cut this down to much less than 3 minutes, maybe even 1 minute. Right after all of this, we see yet another opening title. There was no reason to put Ranium Films Presents after the opening exposition, especially since we already had opening credits. So if you're going to put the opening credits, you cannot put that title there. Or put that title there, and that's it. Let's get into the movie, shall we? Honestly, that wasn't a bad use of stock footage. I personally haven't used stock footage in any of my short films, mostly because I don't really know how to use it, which has left me scrambling for ways to edit a sequence together that I just wasn't happy with. So I like the way that he used stock footage here and how he uses stock footage throughout the movie to really push the narrative of the story instead of just working with what he has. He's working with what he has and then some. And I think that's a really cool thing that he did.
You should have worn your seatbelt.
Now you see this shot here completely takes me out. We just had a very edge of your seat kind of scene, and we're about to transition to yet another edge of your seat kind of scene. And we're having this very strange few seconds of here's some campiness. And to top it all off, here's some copyrighted music. An easy way I would have edited this part here would to cut this out, and it would basically look like this.
If it isn't my beloved creation, my cold-blooded killer. Did you manage to?
He got away.
What? Are you telling me the one job I gave you, the one I designed you for, and you managed to screw that up?
He killed 4 of the people you sent me with!
They are made of metal. I give you one job. Next time you fail me, I will disconnect your life support and sell you for scrap. Fix it.
So now we see these two characters interacting with each other without being in the same place. And usually that's a really fun thing to shoot. Unfortunately, and I remember writing this part, this was supposed to be a screen replacement shot and not replacing what you're watching. I was hoping that he would put it onto the phone. Actually, I suggested a tablet so that it's bigger and easier, but he used the phone instead, and I thought that was fine until the audio was snapping in and out based on the cuts. And it shouldn't have been doing that because, supposedly these characters are talking to each other at the same time on the video phone. Not to mention the delivery of the dialogue felt a little unnatural, mostly because the lines that I gave, honestly, I think the writing here could have been better. And that's my fault because this is one of the scenes that I wrote. But this could have also been the actor's chance to really show how good of an actor they are by taking this bad line and making it something believable, making it something that connects with the audience. That being said, on top of being a filmmaker, I'm also an audio engineer specializing in music mixing and post-production audio for video. And a part of that job is something known as automatic dialogue replacement, or ADR. There was a video that went around of Hugh Jackman doing ADR for Wolverine, where he's screaming and flailing his arms around based on what's going on screen. And that's what he tried to do here, but it was out of time. And I'm not saying ADR is easy because honestly, as a professional, I can say that ADR isn't as easy as someone might think. So doing it for the first time and not succeeding, that's not a bad thing. It just means you need more practice. I'd also say you should have kept going until you had it right.
Find a way to kill this guy. Don't worry, I got him. Adamantium bullet.
You can see here that it's out of time, and if I just simply shift the audio a little bit, it will look better, like this.
Find a way to kill this guy. Don't worry, I got him. Adamantium bullet.
So, just keep practicing ADR, and that'll look a lot better. Right here, I think this is a really cool shot, and I know most people think that it's really dumb to put the location name up on the screen, but this is the aesthetic of a Marvel movie right now. You watch a lot of these movies and you'll see that they will have where they are on the screen. So I think this is a really good use, whether intentional or not, of putting this in the movie to fit with the style of other Marvel movies. It really ties the universes together and pulls the audience back into thinking that they're watching a real professional movie.
As of yet. So, how you doing so far, James? Tell me, how you holding up?
Well, honestly, nothing I haven't already been through yet, Charles. I was actually ambushed in the woods the other day by a couple of assholes, looking for answers I didn't even have. I felt something really unbelievable. It was strange. It was like someone out there was trying to make a clone of me just to try and kill me.
God, help us. Dr. Xander Rice.
Oh, background noise, background noise. All you can hear is the shifting of background noise. You can hear when there's different takes being used, and that'll really take the audience out of the experience of watching this film, bringing them back to reality that that's right, I'm watching a film on YouTube that I didn't pay for. Let me find something else that's worth my time, which unfortunately is what a lot of us YouTube filmmakers have to keep in mind, is that most people will click off the second they feel like it. Keep noise in mind. Sound isn't just 50% of a movie. It's actually, I would argue, majority of the movie. Because you can watch the movie with horrible sound and you'll hate it. But you can listen to a movie with bad visuals and it will still be okay. So sound is, I would say, 75% of filmmaking, whereas visuals and your camera choice will actually only be about 20%, with that 5% being passion.
Has created genetic mutants like yourself. You see, there's this man by the name of Dr. Xander Rice, a very evil man. He would kidnap innocent people, clone them, and use them as biological weapons to take control of different parts of the world. You see, when you were born, he took you, implemented your genetic code onto someone else. As a result of his plans, accidentally created a female version of yourself with designation X-23, which may as well still be alive today.
X-23?
So again, we're going back into immersion, where these cuts are really weird. It's like this character is talking to himself now based on the 180 rule. The 180 rule is when you have two characters talking, you imagine a line between the two characters and you keep the camera within 180 degrees of that line. That way the audience doesn't lose perspective of which way the action is following.
Charles? Charles? Charles?
Okay, so I just want to say, thank God there was no dialogue before this. I think that keeping it very quiet actually increased the tension until it exploded. Now, I wish we could see the shooter running off to hide at least so that we know that he's hiding somewhere, even though James doesn't. And when James comes into the room, I was hoping for a nice close-on shot so that we can't see his backgrounds because he can't see it either. And then right before the shooter attacks him, we pull out to the shot that he had right as he's striking so that we also feel the shock and surprise of when this attacker comes in and attacks him. And I've got to say, the fights are decently energetic. I like the use of speed ramping right at the punches to make it look like they're landing a lot faster, a lot harder. And most fights you see from smaller filmmakers aren't that energetic because all the actors are afraid to hurt each other. But right now you can see that they're actually going at it. And I would believe that, you know, this was a real fight, not just a movie fight. Whoa, that was kind of cool. Okay, so this part was really cool. I really liked that we didn't get to see who it was before it happened. It was so fast, so out of the blue. I loved it. This was awesome. That clip that you just saw and you heard me, that was my live reaction to watching that happen. It was awesome. So this shot here is a little derivative. It comes directly from the movie, but honestly, it doesn't look bad. I remember talking with Matt about this shot. I was saying that he shouldn't put it in because it's too derivative from the movie, and I'm honestly happy that I was wrong because this shot does look really cool. Now, this shot here, I really like that. I think that's really believable. I like the way he changed the color to make it look like it was darker. It was nighttime. And the rain asset he's using looks pretty real. I would make it a bit bigger since we're at a smaller scale, but I think it looks really great. Copyright! So my final thoughts. Although the movie was slow paced and the acting wasn't great, the film as a whole was good, and everything wrong could be easily fixed. It's not perfect, but name a movie that is, especially on this platform. Matt, remember to stay cool and keep shooting until you get the takes right. The weird cuts between sentences were jarring and took the audience out of the immersion. Visuals weren't terrible, and writing was pretty cool. Keep up the great work. Now, a note to self. Make sure the background noise is clean so that the changes aren't so noticeable. Thanks for joining me today, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon right next to the button so that you're notified when I post another video. Links are in the description to the channel and the full film, as well as other information that you might find interesting. Keep a lookout for my comment underneath to start a discussion about this movie. I can't wait to engage with all of you. Thanks for watching.